November 12, 2022, something happened at Crestview Medical Center that would leave investigators baffled and employees terrified. Security guard Mark R., a reliable 34-year-old night shift worker, made a decision that night that would haunt everyone involved. He deleted 37 minutes of security footage from his shift. When his supervisor eventually recovered the deleted files from the damaged hard drive, what they found defied explanation. Mark had worked at Crestview Medical Center for 3 years without incident. Colleagues described him as dependable, quiet, and professional. He knew every hallway, every room, every shadow that belonged in the building during the lonely hours between midnight and dawn. That all changed on a Tuesday night when Mark filed an incident report claiming he had seen a patient who wasn't on the roster in Ward 3B, the abandoned pediatric wing that had been closed for renovations 6 months prior. According to his report, this mysterious figure had stood motionless in the hallway, staring directly at the security cameras for over 4 hours. The patient database showed no one assigned to that ward. No one should have been there at all. The recovered footage begins at 2:17 a.m. when motion sensors throughout the empty pediatric wing suddenly activated. Mark's security camera feed showed the familiar sight of the abandoned hallway, sterile white walls, disconnected medical equipment covered in dust sheets, and the eerie silence that filled the unused spaces of the hospital. But something was wrong. For just 3 frames of footage, a tall figure appears at the far end of the corridor. The shape moves in an unnatural, twitching motion that seems to defy normal human movement. When played in slow motion, the figure appears to be approaching the camera with jerky, puppet-like gestures. At the exact moment this figure appears on screen, something remarkable happens to Mark himself. The security room camera shows him freezing completely, his body rigid as he stares at his monitor. For several minutes, he doesn't move, doesn't blink, doesn't even appear to breathe. Audio analysis of the recovered footage revealed something even more disturbing. Throughout Mark's entire 8-hour shift, including the hours before the incident in Ward 3B, faint whispers can be heard in the background of the security room recording. The voices are barely audible, layered beneath the hum of equipment and the distant sounds of the hospital. But when isolated and enhanced, they form coherent words and phrases. Most chilling of all is a whisper that occurs at 2:17 a.m., perfectly synchronized with Mark's frozen state. "I see you, Mark." The voices continue throughout the night, sometimes giggling, sometimes whispering names, sometimes counting backwards from numbers that don't seem to follow any logical sequence. Mark submitted his resignation the following morning, refusing to explain what he had experienced beyond his initial incident report. He left town within a week and has not been located since. In the weeks following the incident, hospital staff began reporting strange occurrences in Ward 3B. Night shift nurses heard faint giggling echoing through the empty corridors. Maintenance workers refused to enter the wing alone. Security cameras continued to malfunction in that section of the hospital, often displaying static or going completely dark for hours at a time. The hospital administration eventually sealed off Ward 3B entirely, citing ongoing renovation delays. However, anonymous employee reviews on various websites suggest the real reason was far more disturbing. One review, posted 3 months after the incident, simply reads, "Avoid 3rd floor at night. Trust me, anonymous employee." Despite multiple investigations by both hospital security and local authorities, no explanation has been found for the events of November 12, 2022. The identity of the figure in the footage remains unknown. The source of the whispers has never been determined. Mark's 37 minutes of deleted footage represents only a small portion of what happened that night. Hospital records suggest the motion sensors in Ward 3B continued triggering until nearly dawn, but no additional footage has been recovered. The abandoned pediatric wing remains sealed, but those brave enough to walk past the locked doors late at night report hearing something that chills them to the bone. The faint sound of children giggling in rooms that have been empty for over a year. Some mysteries are better left unsolved. Some doors are meant to stay closed, and sometimes the footage we recover only shows us how little we truly understand about what lurks in the shadows of places where healing once happened and where something else might now dwell.